Hello friends, welcome to Data Pandit. So to continue with the join component series, this is the second video for the join component. So in this video, we are going to understand how join functions internally. So in first part of the join component series, we understood that how many parameters we need to specify or to configure the join component based on our use case, based on our requirement. Once we have configured the ab initio join component, we have specified all the parameters, and then whenever we are running the graph or and our process, then how the join components internally does the thing. So if we understand the runtime behavior of the join component, then it is very easy to configure the ab initio join component, and it is very easy to apply the join component and to think of the join component whenever we have any requirement. Okay, we are going to be provided, different use cases or different requirement as part of project. So we need to just think of how we can achieve that, whether join component can help. So in those terms, we need to think of, and we need to use a particular component. So if we talk about the runtime behavior of the join component, so we have configured the join component and we have provided the sorted input parameter. Sorted input parameter uh, plays pivotal role in runtime behavior of the join component. So sorted input parameter, as we know, can have two values, whether we are supplying the sorted data to the join component or whether we are supplying the unsorted data to the join component, and we are going to say that use the max core memory and sort the data internally to the join component. So if the input data is sorted, then it reads all the record in which, how whichever way the records are coming, it will read all the records if the data is sorted. If the data is unsorted, then it will load all the records from all the input except the driving input. So whenever we supply the sorted input parameter as false, then there will be max core memory. So all the non-driving data sets will be loaded into the max core memory. If the max core memory is not sufficient for the non-driving data sets, then the record is going to spill to the disk, and this will hinder it will hinder the performance. So performance is going to degrade, the join component will be slowing down. To sort out that, we need to understand our use case, and we need to know that how how frequent and how much volume we are going to expect in future, so that we can enlarge our max core memory to fit all non-driving data set into that max core value. By default, max core is 67 MB. We can enlarge it depending upon the volume of the non-driving data sets. So, first of all, this is going to happen. The loading of the non-driving data set into the max core memory. Okay, and the second process which is going to happen is the selection of the records. If you remember, we have provided the select n parameter, select 0 and select 1. So whichever select is processing. So if that selection is evaluating to 0, so that means the condition is not satisfying. So the join component is going to discard that record. It's not going to process the record, and that record is not going to appear in on any output port. In fact, that record is not going to be entertained by the join component. okay, at all. And if that selection expression is producing null value or something, then the error message is going to come and the graph is going to stop. And if the evaluation of that expression is giving non-null or non-zero value, then it means the record is going to be processed by the transform function of the join component, and that record is going to appear on output port. If you, while configuring, if we are supplying nothing in place of selection parameters, then all the record is going to be processed by the join component. So this is going to happen on second part, and then we have dedupe parameters. If you remember, we have a respective dedupe parameter for particular respective input data sets. So as soon as the selection happens, then there will be a deduplication of the input data sets. So if any duplicate record is coming in, and we are going to stop those duplicate record going into the transform function of the join component, then we specify these parameters. And those discarded records that after deduplication happens, those record is going to appear on the unused port. I mean, the respective unused port of the zone component will be capturing those records. Okay. So if you are not specifying anything for the deduplicate parameters, then nothing is going to happen. And then we have finally the transform function. So as soon as the records arrives in the transform function, so if the transform function is returning null, you know, so it means the record is going to be reject. The record will be appearing in the respective reject port. If the record is coming in from the IN0 and it's rejected, then it will be appearing on the reject 0 port. Okay. So this will be functioning on reject threshold basically. So we need to see the configuration of the reject threshold as we saw in the parameter section. There are three values for the reject threshold, which is never abort on the first rejection, and ramp and limit. So if we are not specifying anything and it says that reject on the first record, then whenever any record comes and the transform returns a null, then the join component is going to stop, graph is going to abort. And if you are supplying the never abort, then graph is not going to stop, but the records which are rejected is going to be appear on the respective reject port, but the graph is not going to fail. It will process all records. Similarly, if we are specifying rampant limit, then the certain percentage of records we are giving the chance to reject, then basically it will wait for those percentage, and if the percentage of records are going above that limit, then only the graph is going to stop. Otherwise, it will process all the records and the rejection will be appearing on the reject port. So if any rejection happen, the error message is going to be written on the error port, respective error port. Okay. But if you are not going to connect any flows, okay, if you are not going to capture any rejection or error, then the information going to be trashed down, discarded, and we are not able to analyze those records, which records has been, failed or what errors comes. So all the nodal records, nodal records in the sense of all the records which pass the transform function of the join component will be appearing on the output. So in that all processing, the temporary file prepared to process the data sets will be appearing on the the directory which we are supplying in the layout section of the component. Okay, so this is all the runtime behavior of the join component. Thank you so much.